Birdman! Wake up! Come with me. We don't got much time. You transfer out tomorrow, right? Well, this is your last chance to get your camera back. Come on.
A prisoner of war, a phrase I'd never have understood back home in Canada. But there I was, 4 months into a stretch, at the pleasure of the German army. I was to be transferred out to the country. I'll never forget that last day. They'd taken my notebook, my camera. This was my last chance to get them back.
Come on, Harry. So, on cleaning duty this morning, I went through all their cupboards. I got your camera, your notebook, and anything else with your name on. I stashed it all together. It's ready to go. Listen, I'm on a break, but they got me cleaning the guard block again. You know what that means? Today's the day, Birdman. Shift starts again soon, and there's only one guard right now. Come on. Come on, Harry. Psst, come here. Harry, quick. Okay, Birdman, time to do your thing. Wait until I'm inside. You distract the Fritz, and I'll get your stuff. I'll meet you out back. I've already stashed your things. I just need a distraction, like we discussed, right? Komm rein, Julian.
Oh! Blöde Gefangene. Jemand sollte sie alle erschießen. Alle.
Psst, come here. Harry, quick. Here's your stuff. Go hide it in your bunk before anyone sees.
I had to hide them. A stack of letters, months worth. The guards have been holding all of our mail. Now you'd think, that many letters from Julia, I'd have torn them open. But if I got caught, I'd never get out. I had to hide them. It was torture. I'd also forgotten that Kurt had given me his address, back in Vimy. He lived on a farm, and I was due to be transferred out to the country. It gave me an idea, and I knew just the man who could help. Yes.
Dear Katrin, 4 months of asking and still they do not grant my leave. All that is left is my duty now. I wake some mornings forgetting why I came here in the first place. The only thing that keeps me going, the only light I see are these letters home to you and our darling daughter. The weather here has turned a lot colder. I ride surrounded by snow. Please tell Lucy.
So I had Kurt's address, and was to be transferred to the country the next day. If anyone knew how to change a movement order, it would be my friend Julian.
Change the address on your movement orders? Impossible. You're crazy. You can try, but it's your funeral, Birdman. Follow me. Right in the cabinet at the back. But that's the officers' quarters. You're not getting in there without a damn good distraction.
Soccer. I hadn't played since I was at school. I hated sports. I was never any good at them. But, for my plan, I didn't need to be.
Well, no more football for us. Our ball's stuck on the roof.
I can't believe it, Harry. Thank you so much. You want to play? Come on. Okay, wait until I'm ready, and then shoot.
One lucky kick was all I needed, and I got it. That ball was my way in.
Jeden Tag immer das Gleiche. Verfluchter Krieg.
I was on the train before I had the chance to finally read Julia's letters. I was so distracted. I didn't even care if I was going to Kurt's farm or not. My heart was pounding.
Dear Harry, thank you for all the wonderful photos you send to me. I received no reply from my last letter. Please write back. My dearest Harry, I will not believe harm has come to you. I cannot bear the thought of a world without you in it. I love you, Julia.
And for the first time, those letters carried the scent of her sweet, sweet perfume. I had to get home.
It had been nearly a year since I had seen my home, since I had seen my family. I could not sleep. At home, I dreamt of war. At war, I dreamt of home.
I wasn't going home. Not yet, anyway. But I did have my camera back. To most on the Allied side, Germany was a machine, efficient and relentless. But there were people starving on that train, people that needed help.
Ich habe solchen Hunger.
Du hast in diesem Wagen nichts verloren, Gefangener. Raus hier! Geh weg! Was ist?
I remember a carriage of wounded German soldiers. Some gestured to me for food. I wasn't the hero Julia thought I was. I couldn't help these people. But I could take photos. One day, I thought, when I'm back in Canada, I'll show people what happened.
Was ist los?
And as I took those photos, I wondered, had my plan to get to Kurt's farm even worked?
As long as we don't cause trouble.
I had 10 days at home and barely knew where to begin. I knew only that Lucy needed me. I could not even bring myself to enter my son's room.
Darf ich etwas Brot haben, Papa? Wo ist mein Bruder, Papa? Hast du ihn gefunden? Ich möchte eine große Scheibe, Papa.
Es tut mir leid, Liebes. Dieses Stück Brot muss lange reichen.
Mama sagt, du erzählst nicht gerne vom Krieg. Warum, Papa? Mama sagt, wir haben nichts zu essen, weil Krieg ist. Mama hat gesagt, du hättest im Schlaf geschrien. Ist alles in Ordnung? Warum braucht der Krieg das ganze Essen, Papa? Danke, Papa. Du hast mir gefehlt.
Guten Morgen, Kurt. Ich habe Dr. Siegfrieds Stethoskop aus dem Dorf mitgebracht. Für Luzi. Luzi, hast du dein Brot gegessen? Wir brauchen Feuerholz, Kurt. Wir brauchen frisches Wasser aus dem Brunnen, Kurt. Holst du bitte etwas?
Things were different at home. Weird. We have all changed up here. Maybe it was Lucy's illness. Maybe it was the war. But I never mentioned Max, for I could not speak of my failure. I did what I could, but we remained hungry.
I remember that little girl so clearly. She was alone, and she was hungry. I couldn't just leave her. Maybe the adults on board could spare a little food.
Alles Mörder. Ob es im Dorf wohl mehr Lebensmittel gibt? Ja, ich habe Greta gebeten, uns eine Futration aufzunehmen. Wir könnten daraus Suppe kochen. Vielleicht für alle.
Whoever that chocolate belonged to, they'd be happy to feed a starving child. Or that's what I told myself anyway.
Mörder, hau ab! Hör mal, aber sag's nicht weiter. Ich habe etwas Fleisch versteckt. Nicht dabei? Der Ex-Präsident bei dir zu Hause. Die Gebieten haben Verstärkung für ihre Luftwaffe. Was der Totenbaron?
Ah, jetzt so ohne Rückstand kann niemand die Deutschen aufhalten.
Was denn? Diesen Monat haben wir aufs Ende ganz gut gehalten. Nicht hast du recht.
Schokolade? Hey, er hat Schokolade.
Was glotzt du so? Geh weg!
Was? Danke. Ich habe aber nichts, was ich dir geben könnte. Schokolade, Schokolade, bitte. Was für ein Luxus. Danke. Vielen Dank. Mörder, du hast hier nichts verloren. Raus hier!
Oh, danke für die Schokolade.
Even just for a moment. Even just for that little girl. I was a hero. And for some reason, it reminded me of the man whose life I accidentally saved. The man I accidentally sent Allied intelligence to. The German and his cat.
Hier, Lotti. Lotti, Lotti. Lauf, Lotti, lauf. Was machst du hier, Lotti? Hier, Kätzchen. Lotti. Komm hierher.
I did what I could, but Lucy remained ill. I wish I knew how to help my little girl. I came home to see my wife and my daughter, to spend time with my family, and yet none of us spoke. I thought I could come home from the war. I thought I could leave it behind. But I understand now, Katrin, and I'm sorry. I can never leave the war behind. The war follows me wherever I go.
Sure enough, I found myself on Kurt's doorstep. I didn't know how he'd react. It's one thing being friends with the enemy in a tunnel underground. but another being friends out in the open. I needn't have worried, though. Kurt and his family were kind to me. They took me in, gave me a bed to sleep in, cooked me meals. In return, I helped out on the farm and did what I could around the house. A few days later, Kurt took me to a nearby village. There were things his family needed. Lucy, his daughter, was sick. And Germany was struggling to feed itself by that time. Everyone was hungry. So while I looked for food, Kurt looked for medicine for his little girl. Kurt trusted me with one of his ration tickets, but people weren't too friendly.
Nicht für dich. Geh weiter, Abschau.
Hey.
Eine Essensmarke? Wir haben noch ein Leib. Nur für Sie.
I finally found a loaf of bread. Food for Kurt's family.
Alles kommt wieder in Ordnung.
Kurt, wie schön, dich wiederzusehen. Dieser Krieg. Nicht einfach, hm? Zumindest wurde Jonas anständig begraben. Dank dir, Kurt. Jonas hat uns vielleicht verlassen, aber deine Tochter ist noch bei uns. Diese Pflanze könnte helfen. Koch sie in Wasser, gib Luzi den Sud zu trinken. Entschuldige mich, Kurt. Ich möchte allein sein. Viel Glück, mein Freund.
Now I could take care of Lucy. I could work on my plan for Harry.
It was then Kurt showed me his plan. Seemed like he wanted to build a balloon. At the time, I had no idea why. A real hot air balloon. And he wanted my help.
Komm mit, Harry.
I sure hoped Kurt knew what he was doing.
Du bist hier nicht willkommen. Finger weg von der Uniform, Tommy. Nur der Finger weg von der Uniform, Tommy.
Er kommt nie wieder. Du hast mir meinen Sohn geraubt, Mörder. Es gibt nichts, was du mir noch antun kannst. Was machst du hier? Raus hier! Der Vogel liebt wohl Nachbars Wäsche.
The inn opened its doors to the public. I knew Kurt was looking for a barrel. This was good timing. But would they let me in? I was the enemy after all.
Mörder! Du hast hier nichts verloren. Raus hier! Ich sagte raus! Ich sagte raus!
Schön, dich wiederzusehen, Kurt. Ich hoffe, Luzi geht's besser. Wie fühlst du dich? Endlich wieder zu Hause. Es heißt ja, der Krieg hinterlässt unauslöschbare
The innkeeper sure seemed good at talking, and Kurt gave him someone to talk to. The perfect distraction.
Wie fühlst du dich? Endlich wieder zu Hause. Es heißt ja, der Krieg hinterlässt unauslöschbare Spuren in jedem Mann. Stimmt das? Du siehst etwas müde aus, Kurt. Schläfst du genug? Ruh dich mal aus. Erzähl mir doch mal von deiner Katze, Kurt. Es heißt, du hast sie im Niemandsland gefunden. Unglaublich. Eins muss ich ihr lassen. Sie hat echt Glück. Hast du das vom Roten Baron gehört, Kurt? Eine echte Tragödie. Das heißt, er hätte Hunderte abgeschossen. Die Tommies haben ihn angeblich mit militärischen Ehren bestattet. Gehört sich auch so. Hast du das vom Roten Baron gehört, Kurt? Eine echte Tragödie. Das heißt, er hätte Hunderte abgeschossen. Die Tommies haben ihn angeblich mit militärischen Ehren bestattet.
Remember, I had no idea what was going on. What use did Kurt have for a balloon? But whatever I said on the long walk home, Kurt's response was always the same. He pointed toward the sky.
So that is what happened, Catherine. I took these things from the village. I made a plan to help the man who I believed to be a hero, to repay my debt for the time he saved my life, and for the time he sent Allied intelligence to help me. I wanted to build a balloon for him. I wanted to send him home, to set him free.
Any German would kill me as soon as look at me. And I guess that's because of the stories I was told, you know? To folks back home, he would have been an evil Hun. But he was also a father. He was also a husband. And he was also my friend.
But I was too quick to trust the Canadian, too quick to call him a friend. I see now how foolish I've been. I see now I was wrong.
But Kurt wanted to build a balloon, and I think he meant to build it for me.
Something was wrong. My daughter didn't normally call out like that. She didn't make a fuss.
At the time, I thought maybe there'd been an accident and he needed my help. It never occurred to me that I'd done anything wrong. It just never occurred to me.
Harry! Das ist er. Das ist er. Das ist mein Sohn. Und du hast dieses Bild gemacht. Du warst dort. Ist er tot? Du Mörder!
I was as surprised as Kurt. I didn't know who Max was. It's like the picture of his son triggered something in him. Flipped a switch. You could see it in his eyes. Before we knew it, he packed up early, went back to war, and took a bunch of my photos with him.
Germany is interested only in its final push on the Western Front. They believe they can take Paris. I've not come here for Paris. By chance, I've been reunited with Franz. I haven't seen him since Vimy. Franz is built for war. Cold and detached, he sees the Tommy as vermin. I never used to understand him, but I do now. He will be a valuable ally. He has agreed to help me find the man in the picture.
So that was it. Kurt left. Me? I resolved to build that balloon. I didn't know if I could do it without Kurt, but I knew I had to try. It was a long shot, but I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in Germany. And back home, there was Julia. So I'd build that balloon. Truth be told, there was not much else I could do. I was always grateful to Katrine. Even after everything that happened, she let me stay in the house. Maybe she just liked the company. I don't know. I helped in whatever way I could, and the three of us kind of fell into a routine.
Ich hab Hunger. Ich habe Hunger, Harry. Ist noch Brot da? Du bist lustig, Harry. Du bist so albern und du bringst mich zum Lachen. Gib eine große Scheibe, eine große Scheibe. Danke, Harry.
That day, the postman gave me a letter. And for once, it wasn't from Julia. The postmark was from Newport in Belgium.
Ein Brief für Harry Lambert.
Harry, my boy. It took me forever to track you down. I've thought of you often since Passchendaele. And I'm sorry, Harry. For everything. For dragging you into this war. For leaving you there. I swore to protect you and I failed. An officer is only as good as his men. And you are the finest of men, Harry. If you'll take one final order from your old major, it's this. Go home, Harry. The first chance you get. Go home to your girl.
Wir müssen über die Brücke, bevor sie gesprengt wird, Kurt!
As we move against the Allies, as everyone focuses on the attack, I focus on one thing. I focus on the man in the picture. I will find him for you, Katrine. And I will find the truth.
Wir müssen über die Brücke, bevor sie zerstört wird! Wir müssen über die Brücke, bevor sie zerstört wird!
The Major? Last time I saw him was when the shell hit at Passchendaele. I couldn't believe he survived it. I guess what they said in the trenches was true. The war just couldn't kill him. Work on the balloon was slow. I had no idea what I was doing. I barely even understood Kurt's plans, but he did, wherever he was.
Dear Catherine, the offensive of Paris failed. We are forced to retreat to Germany. Yet today, I made progress for the first time. I know his name now.
Du suchst nach den Kanadiern? Da hinten haben wir einen zurückgelassen.
Die Tommys haben Scharfschützen in diesem Gebiet. Geh lieber nicht weiter.
Every Canadian I capture either claims ignorance or simply misunderstands. They all look at me as if I'm some kind of madman. But this one understood, and this one recognized the man in the picture.
Help! Somebody please! Please, don't kill me! I'm no threat to you! Is that Major Barrett? I don't know where he is, I swear!
Barrett, Catherine. His name is Barrett.
I daydreamed a lot back then. If I could finish that balloon, I thought, maybe somehow I could escape. Maybe somehow I could get back to Julia.
Hast du etwas von Papa gehört? Du und Papa bleibt für immer Freunde, das weiß ich.
As the months went by, Katrine kept me updated about Kurt. She'd point to maps to show me where he was, explain as best she could. Kurt sure didn't give up easy.
Kurt, das ist Ihr Übersetzer. Was für ein Glück. Bring ihn zum Reden, Kurt. Der hier versteht jedes Wort.
Was wollen Sie denn von mir? Bitte, ich habe einen Sohn. Ich habe das Foto noch nie gesehen. Das schwöre ich. Moment, das ist doch Major Barrett. Sind Sie hinter dem Herr?
Er weiß etwas. Man sieht's an seinen Augen.
Angeblickt ist er durchgedreht. Er würde abgezogen.
Droh ihm, Kurt. Er hat Angst.
Er ist jetzt am Meer stationiert in Newport. Mehr weiß ich nicht.
He is in Newport, Catherine, and I will find him. I will find Barrett. It's only a matter of time.
Katrine showed me the letter. Kurt's search for Barrett had led him to the Belgian coast. He'd found him. Whatever Kurt's plan was, it wasn't going to end well, and Katrine knew it. She begged me to save her husband. I didn't know if I could find Kurt. Hell, didn't know if I wanted to. But I did have the balloon, and one crazy idea.
I suppose they will call me a deserter now. But I never cared for this war anyway. I only ever cared for Max, our son, my boy.
Katrine gave me a map of Europe and Kurt's old hunting rifle. I don't know which one of us was more surprised that the balloon even floated. I flew all night in that balloon. Don't know how, but I got there. I was back at war. You can't see the war from the ground, because on the ground, you are the war. I'll never forget that moment, because in that moment, I truly understood what I'd been a part of. But I was tired, and I needed sleep. I barely knew which way was up anymore. What the hell was I even doing here? Maybe Kurt found Barrett days ago. Hell, maybe Kurt was already dead.
I know you think I've changed. Perhaps you even think I'm mad. But I did what I had to do for our family, Katrin. And I found him. I found Major Barrett.
Oi, what are you doing here, filthy Fritz? Nearly the armistice anyhow. You lost, Fritz. You lost.
Ah, Miller. More wine.
I thought I was here to take photographs, sir.
You are here to get me wine. That's an order.
Yes, sir.
How many, I wonder? How many lives lost under Major Barrett's command? They were just boys. Christ. They were just children. I sent better men than me to their deaths. I robbed better men than me of their sons. But it's over now. It's over. No more. Enough.
Ugh, Kurt. Did I even want to save a man who didn't trust me?
Und du hast dich ins Bild gemacht. Du warst dort. Der Tod. Mörder.
To him, I wasn't a friend. To him, I was the enemy now. A true friend would have heard me out. A true friend wouldn't have assumed the worst. I always thought if you cared about someone, that was unconditional, right?
Miller. Wine.
Yes, sir. Coming, sir. Photograph the armistice, he said. You'll be famous, he said.
Miller. For the love of all that is holy, where the hell is my wine?
He was a good photographer, that Harry. A good lad. I should never have brought him into all this. I hope you made it home to your girl, Harry. To your old life. The Fritz awakes, I see. I would apologize for knocking you out, Fritz, but, well, I'm just not sorry. But I am curious about these little souvenirs of yours. So many German casualties must be quite painful to look at. That's what you get for starting a war, I suppose. It's over now, Fritz. You lost.
Du hast mir meinen Sohn genommen.
Come on, Fritz. Give me something to work with here. What else have we got here? How did you get this picture? Are you a spy or something?
Es interessiert mich ein Dreck, was du sagst. Genau wie deine Fotos. Einen Dreck. Was hast du mit meinem Sohn gemacht?
You should try opening up more, Fritz. I sense a lot of pent-up aggression. Let's try another. Hang on a second. These look an awful lot like pictures taken by a friend of mine. These are Harry Lambert's photos. What did you do to him? I'm listening, Fritz.
Du kennst ihn. Dessen Namen ich nicht mehr ausspreche. Er widert mich an, genau wie du. Er hat gesehen, wie sie meinen Sohn gefangen hielten und nichts getan. Nichts!
Sir, there I was, right before the armistice, mid-air in a homemade balloon. I was free up there, free to choose. Did I risk my life for a man who hated me? Or live the life I always imagined? Share my photos with the world? Go home?
This is you in this picture. What the hell happened? Did you kill him? Is he dead? Answer me! If I found out you hurt Harry, you will beg me to kill you quickly.
Ich bin nicht hier, über ihn zu sprechen. Er ist mir egal, wie du mir egal bist. Ich bin deinetwegen hier. Ich will dich, Major Barrett.
Oh, he knows my name. Ha ha! This just keeps getting better.
Ja, ich kenne deinen Namen. Und ich kenne diesen Harry. Ich kenne euch. Ist er dein Sklave, dein Lakai? Hilft er dir für Ruhm und Ehre, Unschuldige zu töten? Er ist doch schlimmer als du. Er ist ein Feigling mit einer Kamera, der glaubt, er wäre ein Held. And you are the finest of men, Harry.
I cannot bear the thought of a world without you in it. I love you. Now and always.
Go home, Harry. The first chance you get. Go home to your girl. Last picture, Fritz. So what about this one? Found this one in your inside pocket. What's so special about it, Fritz? Hang on a minute. That's me. Now you've really got my attention. And who's this young fellow I'm threatening?
Finger weg von dem Bild. Finger weg, du Mörder! Du... Erinnerst du dich an ihn, Barrett? Weißt du überhaupt, wie er heißt? Sein Name ist Max Waldner und er ist ein guter Mann. Er hat an diesen Krieg geglaubt und er wollte die Welt verändern. Er ist mein Sohn. Mein Sohn. Und du hast ihn mir genommen. Wo ist er jetzt? Sag mir, was mit Max geschehen ist. Oder ich schwöre beim Allmächtigen und bei allem, was mir heilig ist.
Oh, Fritz, I have no idea what you're saying.
My dearest Harry, I will not believe harm has come to you. I miss you so very much. To me, to all of us back home, you are a hero.
You should never have come here, Fritz. You see, to me, You're just one last little bit of war left to fight. We're moments away from peace, you and I. Funny in a way. How about a photo? For posterity. You understand? I'll get the camera.
Lose not. That drunkard. I do not remember it clearly, but I escaped and I ran.
Fritz!
I couldn't bring myself to do it. Kurt would be fine. I had to go home. I had to see Julia, had to get home. And this could be my only chance. So I set the pigeon free. I wouldn't need her anymore. For her and me, the war was over. Time to go home.
Come on, Fritz! All I want is a picture! I know you can hear me! Just one picture for my collection! One picture, then I'll let you go! I promise!
I saw the strangest thing in the distance. A balloon. Like the one I planned to build for the Canadian. What happened to him, Katrin?
I think Kurt once wanted me to escape in this balloon. To go home. I hoped some part of him still wanted that. I hoped he'd found peace.
You know, you keep bleeding like this, and you die anyway. I can help. I can ease your pain. I think perhaps we got off on the wrong foot.
Barrett was determined and relentless. For a fleeting moment, I almost respected him. Almost.
Even if he was still alive, this was Kurt's fight, not mine. I had my own life to live now. I had Julia.
Hiding is not one of your strengths, I see. What was your plan, just out of interest? You come here, you find me. What then? You don't even speak English. What were you planning to do? Well. I'm impressed, Fritz. Looks like you still have some fight left in you.
Ich will antworten, Barrett. Antworten! Was hast du mit meinem Sohn gemacht? Sprich! Was hast du mit ihm gemacht? Antworte mir!
I can see you're upset. What's your name, friend? Name.
Ich muss wissen, was mit meinem Sohn passiert ist. Mit meinem Sohn. Mit Max. Hörst du? Max. Mein Sohn.
Max. That's a good name. A strong name. My name is Martin. Martin.
Deswegen bin ich hier. Nur deswegen.
Look behind you, friend. I've got far more guns than you have. Never mind them. They won't do anything unless you do.
Ja, ich sehe deine Männer, Barrett. Aber die sind mir egal. Egal! Hörst du? Du hast meinen Sohn getötet.
You're not a killer. You pull that trigger, and you end up just like me.
Ich mach das für Katrin. Für Katrin. Und für Lucy. Meine Lucy.
You don't want to end up like me. It's no fun. Trust me, Max.
Du sollst seinen Namen nicht sagen. Mein Sohn. Mein Junge.
Just put the gun down.
Ich hab keine Wahl. Ich muss es zu Ende bringen. Ich muss! Für Max, für Katrin, für mich.
We've all lost people we love. All of us.
Er war mein Junge. Er fehlt mir.
So, I went home. Took a couple of months to get there, but you should have seen Julia's face. Hell, you should have seen Taylor's. The old photography store seemed smaller somehow. Quiet. But I didn't mind that one bit.
They took me prisoner, Katrin. But they spared me. Barrett spared me. Perhaps he's not the monster I imagined. Perhaps no one man is responsible for Max but the war itself.
I'd done a lot over in Europe, and seen even more. Yet the only thing that stayed with me through it all was a single question. So I asked it, and she said yes.
No doubt they will praise him for his heroism. Perhaps he deserves it. We all fight our own wars. They will not keep me for much longer. Please tell Lucy I'm sorry. I will be home soon.
Then, you came along. Julia became your mom, and I became your dad. And the rest is history.
Do you still think about the German, Daddy?
Every day.